Hey there, Cancer. Welcome to your reading for the week of December 12th. This week, definitely check out astrojar.com for more awesome readers and astrologers. But let's see what is going on for you this week. Definitely probably needing to take some risks, needing to get started on things for sure, but actually it looks pretty good. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, you start off with the Five of Clubs. A very good card of adventure and going on adventures, traveling. You also have the Five of Spades. Both cards can represent moving, planning a move, thinking about moving. Five of Clubs is just a card of thinking. It's like a card of planning, like I said, planning an adventure, planning travel, thinking about doing those things. So a lot of you could be doing a lot of thinking and things like that. I actually think a lot of your thoughts are kind of just coming together. Probably thoughts you've had for a very, very long time, many years. I just see like all these bits and pieces kind of coming together. It's interesting. I'm going to skip ahead real quick. You have the Nine of Spades as well. And I think that this week, this card is actually just representing, again, these like past thoughts, past disappointments. I think you're thinking about a lot of those things, and I just see everything kind of coming together. So I don't think this is a bad card for you this week. I think it's a good card because you're like realizing why things had to happen. The combination of Five of Spades and Nine of Spades, which again, you have both, represents a blessing in disguise. So I think a lot of you are thinking about past things, and like I said, and it's all kind of coming into one thing, and now it's actually giving you a direction. So it's like you're putting all these puzzle pieces together, and now you're like, oh, I know exactly which way I need to go. I know exactly what I need to do. And it's very interesting because you end with a Six of Hearts. Sixes represent going the right direction, doing what you're supposed to be doing, and knowing what direction to go in as well. So that's very interesting. Also, be careful of your feet this week. I don't know. It just came in, so be careful of your feet, I guess, and injury to your feet and things like that. For some reason, I think the water signs this year are prone to illness, as you can hear from my voice, and also prone to injury. Luckily, I think that changes in 2017. So just be careful of those things. Five of Spades, don't get sick. Don't, take care of yourself, all that stuff. But I also think this card represents needing to take a risk. It's like, I just see a lot of you, and again, I know this is very general, and you're looking at a lot of pieces of your life, and so for a lot of you, this is going to be different. It's going to be like love or business or money or whatever, and I think you need to take a risk this week and get started, because it's like you're looking at all those pieces. Like I said, you're looking at all these things that have come together, and now you kind of have a direction, but I think you need to get started on that direction. And again, you have the Fool in reverse, very much like the Five of Spades. It just represents, when it comes up in reverse, it says you're not getting started. You're kind of hesitating, and you're not thinking about getting going. So get started on whatever thoughts you have about a direction, because again, it's the right direction. I think a lot of you aren't starting, basically, whatever it is, because you're like looking at all these things, and you're like, well, none of that worked. That was a bunch of failures. I had a bunch of failures and things like that. So I think you have a little bit of that gun shyness about getting started, because you're just thinking that it's not going to work. But I would definitely encourage you to get started this week. Again, Two of Clubs. You have a very singular message this week. About just getting started in general on whatever this is, on this new path. Like I said, puzzle pieces together, get started. That's your message. But Two of Clubs, getting yourself motivated and being self-motivated and things like that, talking to yourself, whatever, I don't care what it is, whatever you need to do to get started. This card, again, represents doing things in the face of fear. I always tell people the story that, this card, J.D. Rockefeller was born under this card, and I think it's a perfect example of what this card represents. He'd be worth like, $300 billion or something if he was still alive today. And, he invested and made his money during the Great Depression, a very, scary time. But he also made very good decisions, and he didn't allow that fear to affect him. And that's the perfect meaning of this card. It's like doing things in the face of fear or uncertainty, but just being very clear and level-headed about the decisions you make and making very thoughtful decisions. But what's on the other side of that, and what's on the other side of kind of just jumping into this new path, is success that you have never could even just dream of having. So definitely get started. And again, Six of Hearts, progress, good things happening after a difficult period of time. Again, it represents a time of energies opening up. Even in the past, if you haven't been able to get things working, this card represents a time where now you can try the same things and they'll work differently. But again, I feel like it's probably not the same. So I know that's going to be very confusing, but a lot of you maybe have an idea of a certain person you want to date, or have an idea of a business you want to start. And I think that you're taking, again, all these pieces, you're putting them together, and it looks a little bit different. But I think you need to get started on that path that it is a little bit different, because it will lead to a great deal of success and progress. Again, this is a great card of progress, moving forward, and momentum as well. Things will just speed up faster and faster if you get started under this card. So definitely get started this week. Think about those things. Put all the pieces together. Look at your difficulties. Think about what that led to, or think about how those things could, have led you to something different, because I think that's where the success lies. And again, I know that's very general, and I was speaking very generally that whole time, but it's really different for all of you. It's going to be different areas of life. So wherever you've been working, that's where it is. So thank you, everybody, for watching. I hope that helps, and good luck.